So one of the key principles of LEGO series play is using LEGO bricks as metaphor to tell a story. And everyone loves a story, and that's wonderful, and all these pupils will have studied metaphor in English. But when it comes to science, they're very good at compartmentalising, and there's not much crossover. So tend to need at least 1 or 2 sessions to introduce the concept of metaphor. A couple of tools I use to use this. I'm a big fan of board games. One of the board games we've got several editions of is called Dixit, where you have these beautifully illustrated cards with really quite random images on them. And it's a game where the pupils or the children basically need to try and devise a short sentence or a word to describe some aspect of the information on that card or the image on that card. Another game that we've got, and we've got, again, multiple copies of this, was during lockdown, we bought lots of different editions of Rory's Story Cubes. So we've got a vast collection of these. And it was largely to help our daughter to build her vocabulary and to tell stories. But again, each of these dice has a collection of 6 different images, all on a theme. And basically you roll these and you're able to tell a story. A nice crossover here. There's another version of this that was brought out recently called the Climate Dice. Here again, we've got 6 different versions or 6 different images, all relating to climate. Here, this is quite literal. But again, an image like this one here could portray one aspect of climate change that you can discuss. So that's another tool, is the story dice. This, on the other hand, is quite different. But again, a lot of children will recognise this. So if they've either read any of the Philip Pullman His Dark Materials, or if they've watched The Golden Compass, that terrible movie, or the BBC televised version of Northern Lights, then they'll be familiar with this. This is the a lithiometer. It's a tool used by the main character, Lyra, and it's a truth teller or a symbol reader. And if you look at it, there are 36 different images around the outside dial of this, and each of these different images can have different meanings. And if you look at the back cover of certain editions of the Northern Lights books, there is a lovely description of how each symbol can have various different meanings. So, for example, the sun symbol, it can mean either literally the sun, or it can mean warmth because the sun emits warmth, or it can mean royalty because it's the most noble thing in the sky. It can mean clarity because it shines light. You get the idea. Now, one thing I then do is I present the pupils with this. And basically, in this one small tin, you've got 36 different little Lego bricks. They can be positioned on this. This is just a photocopy of an illustration I managed to find off the internet of an alethiometer. And what you're able to do is basically lay these out, point to any one of these, and you should be able to tell a story with this. A bit like Lyra would do in the film, in the books. She would be able to tell us, tell the truth based on the symbols that the arrows pointed to. So, a handful of tools here, tools in which to help them understand the concept of metaphor.